Now it's time to see who has the heart.
If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential to be the best that you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game, in my book, we're going to be winners.
This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
I know you're tired. I know you're hurting. And I wish I could say something that was classy and inspirational. But that just wouldn't be our style. Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Welcome to the Best of Tailgate Talk, where we go back into the archives and hear some of our special guests you may have missed the first time around. We'll be back with the Best of Tailgate Talk after this. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. Call 233-4430 or order online at Applebee's.com and pick your meal up with Carside to Go. Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 in Athens, just off I-65. Eating good in the neighborhood. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand, first to help with community events and fundraisers, first to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations, first to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events, and most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together, that's what we strive for.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. PASnetwork.net. It's now your gateway to the Play Action Sports Network. Whether it's Play Action Sports coverage of school, youth, and amateur sports from Athens and Limestone County, or Calhoun basketball, James Clemens Sports, and Applebee's Tailgate Talk via PAS Plus. PASnetwork.net. Follow the links to download apps to hear live streams and podcasts, enable Alexa skills, or listen live on your computer. Covering Athens and Limestone County area sports, PASnetwork.net. Welcome to the Best of Tailgate Talk. We're down to 2 more shows for 2024. This week we go back 4 years to hear a conversation we had with former Alabama and NFL running back LeRon McClain. A talk with former NFL cornerback Odie Harris is next from a year earlier. Another guest from 2020 follows that, former New York Mets and Kansas City Royals catcher Ed Hearn. Former NFL referee Jim Tunney passed away earlier this week, and we've got the first of our 2 visits with him coming up. Finally, from 2021, we bring back a chat with former Alabama center and power forward Erwin Dudley. By the way, our Athlete of the Week and Howl with a Havoc winners will return on January 4th, our first live show of 2025. Stay with us. We'll be back with more of the Best of Tailgate Talk. P4 Therapy is an outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in northern Alabama and southern Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
home security is not what it used to be. With Secure Connect and smart home integration features, you can unlock your doors and turn off your alarm from your smart home app. No more hiding a key under a rock. Get Secure Connect and live life connected. Call Ardmore Telephone Company at 800-830-9946 to secure your home today.
While others have come and gone, the Lions Den Gym has been roaring as a workout and exercise fixture in Athens, growing from its humble basement beginnings in 1981 to their current 10,000 square foot location at 212 Commercial Drive in Athens. The Lions Den offers 24/7 access to their ever-expanding equipment collection that includes treadmills and climbers, elliptical trainers, stationary bikes, loose weights and dumbbells, and over 45 different weight machines. Contact the Lions Den Gym about a membership today at 256-652-2627. Visit them online at lionsdengym.com or on Facebook. The Lions Den Gym, 256-652-2627. Now that you've got that new place on the water, BP Riverworks can finish the picture with a boathouse, dock, or seawall. Call Barron Pugh at 251-200-2273 or Tracer Pugh at 256-206-7097. BP Riverworks. Licensed and insured, 251-200-2273 or 256-206-7097. Now on a platform near you, the only year-round weekly podcast covering the Huntsville Havoc, the Wreakin' Havoc Podcast. News, interviews, and more. Dropping every Thursday, we'll just reek of the Huntsville Havoc. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and listen, follow, and subscribe on your favorite platform via the PAS Plus app and online at wreakinhavoc.com. Welcome back to the Best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got our special guest, LeRon McClain, online with us, former Alabama and Baltimore Raven fullback. LeRon, welcome to the show, buddy.
Man, how y'all doing today, man? How y'all doing?
We're good, bro.
How are you doing, bud?
Hope y'all staying hydrated out there, man.
Yeah, it is
water.
warm out here, brother. Well, we were until Jay didn't bring us nothing, but we're doing all right, brother.
Hey, they're doing okay. They're the one in the shade.
That's
I'm the one
true.
sitting out here getting a suntan. So.
He needs it. He's a white boy.
Hey, LeRon, we're all right, baby. Hey, gonna be all right. Get a little water. You gonna be all right.
Yeah, it'll be fine. We're good. It's
Hey,
good.
LeRon, they got the Tide fans in the shade. Got the Auburn man.
That's
in the
right.
sun.
We know where to put him, brother. We put the Auburn guy in the sun, so that's all.
Bake,
all
man, bake.
You should be good, man. The plane should take care of them. You should be okay out there.
We're all good. We're all good. I did have
Yes,
something I never do. I always wear my ball caps in the proper direction, but that sun is on the back of my neck. And I don't want to be called a redneck, so I put the cap back around, and it has helped.
It's helping you.
Yeah, my neck ain't hot no more.
Now you'll have that adjustable strap
That
on your
adjustable
forehead.
strap on my forehead.
Yeah.
Well, it's too late. You're already a redneck.
That's true. There you go. Had or not, brother.
Absolutely.
All right.
LeRon, what's been going on with you these days, bud?
Oh man, just be honest, man. Just graduated for the first time this past Sunday.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Congratulations are in order for that.
What was your degree in, brother?
A degree in communications.
Nice.
Man, need to come join us on the radio show then.
I'm telling you, man. I think I'm gonna have a future in radio or something like that. Start my podcast or something like that. But man, I enjoy talking sports, man, and everything. But that's pretty much what I have going. Like today is so it's so great. I'm having a back to school event down in my hometown, down at the park. We are doing some back to school supplies and safety kits.
Yes.
And barbecues and hot dogs for the kids, and some free chips and everything. Just a little something for the community out here. So that's pretty much what I got going on right now, man. Just hanging low, man. Just let everything come to me.
Well, thanks for taking time to be with us. So for those who ain't listening, where's your hometown at?
Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Tuscaloosa. So you a hometown guy, brother. Well, we just want to make sure. Yeah. So you giving back to the hometown of Tuscaloosa. So how's the crowd right now? Is that having a good crowd this morning?
Oh yeah, we gonna have a great crowd, man. I've been getting the grill, getting somebody to get the grill ready for me. So it's gonna be a great turnout, man. I teamed up with two ladies down in my hometown who do like fitness and everything, and they reached out to me. I'm gonna talk to the kids a little bit while I'm out there, and get things. That's one thing that I got going now. My keynote speaking gig is like I just go around like telling my stories, telling my testimony of everything I went through, the ups and downs of when I left the league, of just maintaining that, going back to school and finishing, pushing through, perseverance, stuff like that. So I'm just enjoying this way right now. I gotta enjoy this high right now, man. I've been on high since, because that's my first time walking ever in my life. Sunday.
Is awesome.
Because I didn't pass the graduation exam in high school, so I never got to walk. So it was a cherished moment, man.
Absolutely. Well, listen, I'm sorry, I was just going to say, since you brought it up, tell us a little bit about your testimony and what you went through with mental health, if you want to share some of that, and the concussions that you had, and all that caused, man, because it's an incredible story.
And just to be clear for folks, like it's still a daily battle mentally wise, just down here, because I'm dealing with my mind, and then my back is just like falling apart. I had surgery last year in June, and now I think I'm gonna have to go probably under the knife again because my back is like messed up. So I feel like this last like year and a half, I feel like my body, just everything's just trying to fall apart on me. And I'm just trying every day, to find mechanisms, to cope and just keep everything together. School was a big school was a big help for me, because I got to leave the house, I got to go on campus. Man, when that pandemic happened, we had to go online.
Absolutely. I bet that was tough.
I said it go another change. But I said I knew it. I said during the process of me being in school, I said something's gonna happen. Gonna have to make me stay committed to my commitment, and I gotta push through it. So I swear, just that we had a 3 week spring break. We ain't never had nothing like that. Yeah. And then going back. Then going back and just finish it through. That's one of the. It was hard, man. And dealing with just trying to deal with my mentally, man. And right now I got to see a sleep doctor next week. Because I'm not sleeping properly. That's why I try to tell people they think it'd be perfect, man. It's a daily battle, just trying to get back. To like just being on a regular pattern.
Are you 50 yet, LeRon?
Oh man, that's what I
said. He ain't that old.
I was fixing to say, man, because if it's falling apart right now, man, wait till you get 50.
Man, that's what I'm trying to get together now, man. Yeah. I got a 6-year-old son, man. And he active. He active. So
good.
I gotta be running around him with my nephews. So
I went to one of those sleep things, and they put me on a sleep machine. LeRon, and I tried it for a while. They said I had sleep apnea, and I fought that machine, fought it. Everybody tells you that's the greatest thing in the world. I could not sleep on it, brother. I promise you. So if you can try it, brother, all you can. But I was one that they had to pull me off of it because I fought it. I grabbed that thing at night, and I just fought it. They tried 2 different masks on me, and brother, if you can handle it, God bless you. But I'm just telling you, I could not handle it.
You ought to be used to wearing a mask now, though.
Yeah, wear a mask every day now. But when those sleep mask is not is a lot.
Yeah, they said it's uncomfortable. The sleep mask is. I'm gonna look into it for sure.
But if it'll help you sleep better, brother, go for it.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
But hey, like you said, we focus a lot on high school. Sports.
Okay.
So yeah, tell these kids, like you said, you had your struggles in life. What can you tell the kids? Like you said, you do a lot of public speaking and stuff. What can you tell the kids now that what you dealt with and what you're dealing with now to not have to go through, and what moving forward, going through in life to look out for?
Yeah, one of the main things I could tell kids, especially especially just going into high school, you're in your 9th, 10th grade. Just take school serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, while you in school for them 8 hours and you got time to be educated and learn, just do your best. Because I know, like a student athlete, one thing I try to tell my guys that I mentor down here, boss, we got to be all Americans in the classroom, so we can make everything easier when it comes down to recruiting. when it come down to like you going to college. Just make everything easy because you don't want to struggle like I did, boss. I had to almost go to a prep school because I wasn't handling my business in high school. I had to struggle. I created the thing that I try to tell kids: don't create hurdles for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, for me, I try to tell people we create adversity for ourselves, and then we got to overcome it. You know what I'm saying? Off decision making that we do. It's a right way and it's a wrong way, and we always choose that wrong way because it's the easiest instead of the right way that gonna help us in the long run. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I try to make the right decision when it's time to make the right decision. And I promise you, everything gonna be okay. So you just won't have stuff keep coming back up or stuff keep coming back up and biting you in the tail because you didn't handle your business. You didn't dot your I's and cross your T's back there.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's the main thing, man. Handle your business. Do your job.
I've heard
Make it easy for your parents. Like, you know, because your parents will come and then some kids will get to the point. Like, I know a few kids down here, they get to their senior year and then man, my mom didn't do this. And I say, well, your mom didn't have to go to class for you. Like, your dad didn't have to go to class for you.
Don't blame them.
That was your job.
Yeah.
That was your job to do that, to make it easier on your parents. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. And I've heard kids say, well, I like to learn from my own I like to make my own mistakes. And I'm like, you know what? If you would just listen to some of the mistakes that somebody else has already made, you could make it a lot easier on you. You're going to make mistakes, but, you know, there's no point in just making it hard on yourself.
Yeah, no sense of creating adversity.
Some people, something like, and you know, like a kid down, I got a example for a kid, like he come from a great family, but he wants to go the other way. Like, why do you want to go the other way? And your parents are setting up everything for you, but you rather go the other way, thinking that's the easiest way. I'm telling you, I'm trying to tell them, and I tell them every day. In the long run, they go bite you, man. You are blessed to have two great parents. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That support you. I try to tell them all the time, man. I was raised by a single mom. My mom did everything. I had to learn a lot of stuff, like just on my own. You know what I'm saying? So that's I try to tell them, man. When you blessed to have two parents in your household, man, take advantage of that. Yes. Be blessed. Do your job. Do your job, man.
Absolutely. LeRon, what was it like playing for Mike Sheila at Alabama?
I try to tell people, man, that was for the best years I had at Alabama. I wouldn't trade them for. I wouldn't trade, like, my commitment, like, going in the way. I wish we would have won a few more games. It was dope. I felt like Shula treated us like real talk to make us do our job. And a few guys in there, they took advantage of that, of, like, just doing your job, and a lot of guys, like, held back. Yeah. I felt like our recruiting could have been better.
Yeah.
If we could have got Tim Tebow that year,
man, like, we would have got Chad Jackson to sign with us that year that we had it, man. And
Chad Jackson.
You know, even just keeping a few guys in state. Like, a few guys, if they stayed in state and came to Alabama and not go to, like, LSU and Florida and everything, like, ain't no telling, like. I don't know if we see saving. You know what I'm saying, at Alabama if Shula do his thing. But I wouldn't trade him, man. I know I didn't beat Auburn. I didn't beat LSU. You know what I'm saying? I beat Tennessee once.
Good old Rocky style.
Yeah. So it was a rough 4 years, but I wouldn't trade him, man. Like, we got some great memories. I mean, we got a Facebook group. And then one of our guys, man, I want to say this, man, rest in peace, man, Ernest Nance, man. He passed away these past couple of days. A guy played linebackers for him, man. Ernest Nance, he played with us, and he just lost his life, man. We taking that kind of hard, because that's one of the big blows to us. You know, we got a group, Facebook group, and Messenger, man, that we just stay connected with and everything. You know, so
that's good.
Hey, what was it like playing for a GM like Ozzie Newsome?
Man, awesome. Getting that call from Ozzie Newsome, man, to play for the Baltimore Ravens was amazing, man. Straight leader. He looked out for them Alabama guys, I'll tell you that. And I enjoyed him, man. A great leader. That's why I said, man, just coming into my rookie season, man, coming into that season, just getting drafted by the Ravens, man, I played with Steve McNair. I played with Steve McNair, Ray Lewis.
About that.
Jonathan Ogden, man. You know, Samari Rowe, Chris McAllister, like guys like that.
Y'all
like
a good team, man.
Yeah, man, just all them vets, like, coming into, like, 2007, I'm coming from Alabama, like, coming up to Baltimore like that, man. It was a world shock, man. Like, that's why I said it was amazing. That's why I said the 7 years I got in the NFL, that's why I said it was a dope time.
Well, let me ask you this, because you were kind of in the last group of NFL players where teams actually use fullbacks. You don't see it anymore.
No, you don't.
And I loved the game when fullbacks were part of it. You know, just it was more technical. The blocking schemes. You know, you coming out of the backfield, catching the ball, carrying the ball down on the goal line, right? You know what I mean? It's such a different game. Do you like the game now, the way it's played, or would you rather?
Man, it's so weird to me now. Like I had like a little semi-pro team, and people was like, they thought I was like gonna go to like the spread. Like I went to regular I formation.
There we go. There you go, brother. There you go. That's how you win, brother. That's how you win.
Give me 21 personnel, and I want to see if I want to see if your linebacker could take this on for 4 quarters.
There we go. That's right, man.
Hey, we'd have loved to see you out there. We'd have loved to see you out there blocking in front of Derrick Henry.
Oh, can you imagine into in the backfield? Dang.
And it was so people don't even know this. Like it was a possibility, man. I almost went to the Saints with Mark. Really?
Oh, that would have been awesome. That's played with me.
I went down there for a workout. I went down there for a trial. This is like right when I left San Diego. I went down there for a trial, but they didn't even sign me though. But yep, I was down there staying with Mark them couple days.
That was good.
I said, man, they're going to be dope, bro. I come down and block for you down the backfield. We're going to be...
Yeah. Well, I guess... Go ahead.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, you mentioned the Chargers. I guess you played with a guy from our hometown here, Mr. Phillip Rivers, too.
Oh, man. When I tell you, the best teammate, best leader, best man, that guy right there, man. I'm so happy for him. I'm happy that he's in a different situation with the coach. Man, I just pray that, you know what I'm saying, he could get to that ship, man. I want Phillip to win one so bad, man. Like, he deserves it. Yeah. Like, a true competitor, a true leader, a true quarterback, you know what I'm saying? And I love him because he talk mess, too. He talk mess like he on the football field.
That's what you got to love.
He talks trash and he don't cuss. That's the thing about
it. He don't cuss. No, he do not cuss.
I was going to say, sometimes that kind of trash talking hurts you even more than somebody's dog cussing, you know?
Man, he do not. Man, man, when I tell you, like, his family is beautiful, man. The kids, his wife, like, everything. Like, even his wife's sister, man, like, she adopted some kids, man, some African American kids that was going through some stuff in San Diego, man. I said, man, that's dope.
Yeah,
man.
That's
like,
awesome.
Just their whole families is everything, man. Like I admire that. That's why I said I had some good role models out there in San Diego also, man.
And he's already got a high school coaching job lined up when he retires, LeRon.
That's good. You got a 1-year, $25 million contract. 1 year, $25 million, and then as soon as you get done with your last snap, you got a whole high school to run.
Yeah, that's pretty good gig. You may have to go down there and get on the staff, man.
Yeah, hey, look, I'm looking forward to that. That's why I said I got a whole plan with that. I see where he at and everything. I'm like, man, that could be a nice little spot for me down there, man.
There you go. You say, hey, don't forget me, brother.
Yes, sir.
That's great. Well, LeRon, man, it's been an honor talking to you.
Great.
Thanks for sharing your time and your story. And
yes, sir.
Keep going, buddy, and stay in touch with us.
Man, yes, sir. Man, I appreciate y'all for having me on, man. Y'all, like I said, man, y'all stay hydrated out there, man, and enjoy y'all Saturday. Gonna go out here and get these supplies away to these kids, man.
Hey, good job with that. God bless what you're doing,
bless you, brother.
Stay safe, my man.
Yeah, take care.
Roll Tide,
man. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was LeRon McClain, former Alabama fullback, Baltimore Raven, and San Diego Charger. It's time to take a quick break.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State Hometown Team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
For screen printing, sign printing, banners, logo design, and more, look no further than That Shirt Printing Place. Located at 709 North Jefferson Street in Athens. Call 256-444-1827. That Shirt Printing Place. Visit them online at thatshirtprintingplacellc.com. Look for them on Facebook too. That Shirt Printing Place. 256-444-1927. That Shirt Printing Place. Bring a little caffeination inspiration to your next event with Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Athens. Turn up the heat in these cooler months with their signature products, including a full coffee menu, white chocolate mocha, lattes, frappes, energy drinks, lemonades, and teas. Travelin' Tom serves events of any size, concerts, neighborhood block parties, high school football games, you name it. Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Athens is sure to make any event a little sweeter. Visit Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Athens on Facebook or call them at 434-1734. Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Athens.
Are you getting the propane service you deserve? At Ferguson LP Gas in Ardmore, you always get the most value for your dollar, professional gas personnel who make safety a high priority, and you can always get in touch with them any day of the year at any time. They accept Visa and MasterCard too. So if you're not happy with your present propane supplier, join the many who have made the switch. Give Ferguson LP Gas in Ardmore a call at 256-423-3320.
He's got a push. Back up three. In! He got it! Three-pointer at the buzzer to win it! Unbelievable!
Join Play Action Sports for another season of Calhoun basketball. You can hear live action from men's and women's teams streamed on the PAS Plus app on your Alexa device by saying Open PAS Plus or online at pasplus.net. Check out the online archives on the website or on your favorite podcast platform too. And listen for select games on Sundays at noon on WKAC Radio. Calhoun basketball from PAS Plus.
You're listening to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Odie Harris, cornerback extraordinaire. We're talking to him live from the Bahamas. Wish we were in the Bahamas.
Yeah, I wish it was with you, brother.
I'm telling you.
Hey, man,
I got one thing.
I'm glad to get back.
I've got one thing to say to you, brother. Houston Oilers, Houston Oilers, Houston number one.
Number one. That's right, man. I love playing for the Houston Oilers. Actually, that was my last year in the NFL, man. And my coach Jeff Fisher, man. Hey, we was headed for the playoffs and everything. And my quarterback Steve, I got to play with quarterback Steve
Aaron McNair.
Quarterback extraordinaire, man. I love Steve, man. Chris Gisman, Blaine Bishop, Jackson, man, Steve Jackson, man. We had a squad, man.
Yeah, they spent that.
I think that was the best team.
No, go ahead.
I think that was the best team. I think that was one of the best teams I ever played with, except when I signed with the Cowboys out of Tampa. We had Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman. Hey, man, they were my boys, man.
They ain't no good.
I'll never forget Dallas.
They ain't no good.
So those teams were good. But let's talk about the team that you signed with coming out of Sam Houston, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They were fresh off. That brought back some bad memories quick, didn't it?
No, not
okay,
bad.
Great.
Like, I can't forget, man, I can't leave Tampa, man. That's why I got my start.
That's right.
Man, Ray Perkins was a hard nose like me. I was already hard nosed, and Ray Perkins was hard nosed, man, disciplinarian. Hey, man, one day I woke up late for training camp that morning, man, and I woke up late. I thought I was gonna get cut.
I made about 2 minutes late for practice, and I thought Ray Cricket was gonna cut me.
Wow, he was
because he was hard like that.
Well, that's probably why he didn't work out with college kids. When he was at Alabama, a lot of us, which he followed, Bear Bryant. So that's a tough gig to follow.
Yeah. That's a tough gig to follow, man. He didn't play. He didn't play, man. He didn't play.
Now, Odie, you played for Coach Belichick and Coach Saban, right?
That's right. I played for Belichick and Saban in '91. I signed with I left Dallas and signed with the Cleveland Browns, and Belichick was the head coach. That was his second-year head coach, and then Nick Saban was my defensive coordinator.
That's what I thought.
And secondary coach.
So I
played for some of the best.
Was Coach Saban? Which we know how Belichick is, but was Coach Saban like he is now, or is he learning to be like he is now?
No. Coach Saban was a player's coach. Hey man, I love Saban. I love playing with Saban, man. He puts you in the right position to do what you need to do to be successful. If you did it, you ain't had nothing to worry about.
And he's a cornerback coach, so he was probably your position coach, right?
Yeah, he was the secondary coach too, and the defense coordinator.
Okay.
Now, you played with Antonio Langholm, correct?
Did I play with Langham? No, I didn't. You talking about the Cardinals?
No, with the Browns.
I mean, no, Langham wasn't there.
Langham came after.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got it mixed up.
Yeah, no, Langham came after me because I was in Cleveland in '91 and '92.
Okay. What was it like playing at? What was it like playing in that old Cleveland stadium?
Man, you know what? The dog pound. I'm telling you, listen. I hated Cleveland, but I love playing in the dog pound. Man, look, it could be 16 below, but when you get to that stadium, man, you don't feel nothing, and you just feel nothing but the Browns vibe, man. And it was awesome playing in the dog pound, man. I'm telling you, it was so awesome playing in the dog pound.
I just hated when they moved to Baltimore.
Yeah,
that was the thing. Because it was.
But you know what, man? They moved to Baltimore, but I think all they wanted was a stadium. Look, I'm gonna say this: like all they wanted was a new stadium. Okay, they left Cleveland because Cleveland won't build them a stadium, and they went to Baltimore. But then Cleveland got a new stadium. Bam! So that's all they wanted. The Browns would have never left. Let's look at the Houston Oilers. The Houston Oilers, all they wanted was a new stadium. They left and went to, Tennessee, but then they get a new stadium in Houston. That's all they wanted.
Yeah,
just build a stadium and the team won't leave.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yep. That's honest to goodness truth.
But it worked out good for us because Tennessee Titans is just right up the road, and
we love them.
Yeah, we've enjoyed having them over the years.
Yeah, but I mean, that was my last year, man. I didn't go to Tennessee.
Oh, that was.
I loved my whole career, man.
So you were on the last team at the Astrodome. Wow, that's something cool, man.
Okay, I had number 27, the Houston's last year in Houston, and then they drafted Eddie George out of Ohio State, and his number 27. I was gonna sell my jersey to him for like $2 million. I didn't make the team.
Oh.
I think that's why they come, because they knew I was going to ask for so much for the jersey.
Oh, that's great. Oh, man.
Buddy, tell us about your book, From the Gridiron to the Pulpit. I mean, we're all Christians here. Man. We love it. I cannot wait to hear your story.
Yes, man. I'm writing the book, man. God placed that on my heart like a long time ago, man, when I first started in ministry. And I'm just now really starting to write it and do it, and it should be out within the next month. So I've been hard at it, but I moved to Florida, so I've been working on getting my new house and stuff. So I just kind of put me back a month. But that's my story, man. Like, I played football all my life, and I loved football. But then I stopped playing football, and then I fell in love with Jesus, man. I got saved. And I fell in love with Jesus, man. So it's like, and I didn't miss a beat. So God said, look, we're going to write from the gridiron to the pulpit. And I got the same love for football, and I got even more love for Jesus Christ today. So I don't even miss it. I don't even miss football, because I found something that's better.
That's right. He filled your heart with something even better. That's right.
That's right, man. That's right, man. And I love him so much, man, because I shouldn't even be living today. I shouldn't even be here, man, because I was so wild it didn't make no sense. But his saving grace saved me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? By his grace, I'm only here only by his grace.
That's right. We all are. You're right.
That's for sure.
When I ran across an article,
I want to put it in the book, man, and help all the young guys. Let them know. Look, no matter what you've done in your life, Jesus Christ loves you, and ain't nothing can disqualify you from being saved and being loved by Jesus Christ.
Amen.
We need to hear that too.
When I ran across an article doing some research on you, and this may be a sensitive subject, but you may cover it in your book. But I'd seen an article where you kind of went AWOL there for a little while.
Well, tell me what you see, and then what did it say?
Well,
when you say I went AWOL.
Well, it's just like you were missing there for a while, and
okay, okay. What was? Listen, okay, I'm gonna tell you about the story behind that.
Okay, because I can't remember it all.
I was in. For a while, it wasn't really a while. I was in San Diego getting treatment for my concussions, and then the people that I was getting treated from, I got pissed off at them, and I left and went to stay in California with in LA with my daughter. Okay. So that was like, and I didn't even know that they had reported me missing. And I called. Somebody told me that I was missing. They said I was missing on the news, and I called the police. I said, I'm not missing. I'm with my daughter. But
I'm right here. I know where I'm at.
Hey man. And then I called them, and they spoke with my daughter. And she said, "Oh, he's straight. He's right here." But you know how stuff gets
turned. Yeah.
But I wasn't AWOL, man. I got pissed off. But I probably shouldn't have got pissed off, but I did. But that's
we all do.
The concussions, man. That's one of the symptoms, man. These concussions, you get you overreact to a lot of stuff, that you shouldn't overreact to. But I might have overreacted, and that is what it is, So.
Do you suffer?
That's part of my history, man.
Do you suffer much with the CTE, Odie?
Matter of fact, let me put this disclaimer in there. I've been overreacted all my life.
Oh man!
but go ahead, man.
I was going to ask you if you suffered much from the CTE, because it's out there and it's more viewable as real, and we have a lot of people that focus on that.
Man, you're right, man. And when I couldn't understand like some of the stuff I was going through and I was dealing with and I was feeling. So that's when I went to California to get treatment and find out what the hell is wrong with me. So I went up there, man, and I found out the whole deal behind the concussions and all that. And now I understand. Instead of me being feeling hopeless and in despair, I found out that it really wasn't me, but it was because of all the concussions I had that I felt like I felt.
Yeah.
So because it's depressing, man. I had 3 guys commit suicide that I played with.
Oh my goodness!
You know what I'm saying? That I played with Dave Dewison, Andre Waters, and Tom McKell from the Buccaneers. They were some of the first ones that commit suicide, man, because they didn't understand it. So, like, you understand, like, why am I like this? I'm feeling inadequate. Like I can't do what I used to do, and I can't. I don't feel like I used to feel, so you think it's you. But it's from all the concussions that we suffered over the years, that's why. So I found that out, man, and now I try to help every player that I know that's suffering with it, because if they diagnose 99 players with CTE out of 100, that's self-explanatory.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, how many concussions?
You don't have to.
How many concussions did you have, or that you knew that you had?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay, I might have had 3 or 4 diagnosed concussions, but I've been not really. When we know what concussion really is, I might have had 50 or 60.
Oh man,
you know what I'm saying? Because I like to hit. I like to hit. And I would hurt myself trying to hit somebody.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
back in our day, you just got knocked, loopy, and you took some smelling salts, and you went back in.
that was a concussion. Really was a concussion.
Exactly.
Got his bell rung is what they used to say.
Yeah.
He got his bell rung.
Your bell rung is a concussion.
It's a concussion. That's exactly right, my friend.
Yeah, back then you didn't know nothing about targeting.
No, it wasn't.
And the NFL, they hid that stuff. So they say, Odie, get up and get back in the game. If you gonna get cut, you ain't have no job tomorrow.
Right.
So you got to get up and get back in the game. But we didn't know that, but they knew. That's why they settled with us through the concussion settlement.
Yeah. Absolutely. We sure are glad that you.
It is what it is.
Yeah. I tell you what, I'm glad that you're in the beach, in the water, and you found Jesus and you found your concussion system. Man, I'm happy for you.
Yes,
I really
yes,
am.
Sir. I'm happy too, man. But you know what? Through all this process, if I wouldn't have had God, you know what? I might have been like Dave Lewis.
That's
I
true,
might have been like Andre Waters. I might have been like Tom McHale. But I had Jesus, and Jesus gives you hope.
Yes,
no matter
sir.
what your situation is.
Yes, sir.
And you get to tell that story.
He gives me hope. He gives me hope, man.
And you get to tell that story from the gridiron to the pulpit. We can't wait for it to come out.
That's right. Hey, when it come out, man, I'm gonna give you a free copy, man.
I'll sign it if you do that, please. Yeah, absolutely.
And we want to have you back on to discuss it as well. So yeah, we'll keep up with you and have you back on, man.
And my name's Tom McClung, by the way.
Man.
I'm Tom McClung. You accepted my Facebook friend request, so stay in touch.
Okay,
I've been doing with the guitar.
We good, man.
Absolutely.
Hey, man, we can do it. I got a buddy. Well, y'all in Alabama, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, my buddy now, one of my best friends is Isaac Hope from the Cowboys. He lives in Birmingham.
Oh, cool.
I'm coming to see him real soon.
Okay, we're about an hour and a half.
Y'all, we can do it live. We can do it live, man.
There you go.
Let me know.
We are an hour and a half north. It's a short drive. We do hope to see you, bud.
I always fly to Atlanta, so I can stop on y'all and see y'all on the way to him.
Excellent.
There we go.
Thanks, Odie. We got to go, man. Go get back in that water. It's getting hot down there.
All right, man. Love y'all, man.
Love you too, buddy.
Take care, buddy.
Thanks.
Appreciate you.
Bless you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was Odie Harris. That was a great interview.
Great.
Man, what a
He's
way.
fired up,
What a
boy.
way. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. Call 233-4430 or order online at Applebee's.com and pick your meal up with Carside to go. Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 in Athens, just off I-65. Eating good in the neighborhood. Keep up with local school, travel, youth, and amateur sports throughout the week with the Play Action Sports Update. Listen weekday mornings at 7:30 and weekday afternoons at 1:30 and 3:30 as we bring you the latest scores, news, and announcements from Limestone County and surrounding communities. That's the Play Action Sports Update 3 times a day, Monday through Friday on 1080 WKAC. You're listening to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
We've got formerly of the New York Mets catcher, Ed Hearn. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Well, it's good to be with you boys down south.
I'm telling you what, dude.
Way down south.
A long way
Ed.
from the Big Apple. But
you may not be able to understand us. All these country accents.
No, you fellas, I'm from the deep south down there in southeast Florida.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
I looked through your profile. I think you're originally from Palm City. Not Palm City, Stewart, right next to it.
I was born in Stewart, and Grew up in Fort Pierce, Vero Beach.
I know that area very well. I've been going down there for 20 years with my job. So I don't know if you've heard of
nice, yeah.
Armalini Express Lines is one of my test fleet there in Palm City, just right across the river.
I got you.
Yes, sir. But hey, man, you was a ball player, brother. I'm talking only guy to ever win a championship in single A, double A, triple A, and majors
in
consecutive seasons.
Years. That's crazy.
Ed, how in the world did you do? Me and Todd played. We played Dixie Youth against each other, so we go back and forth about that. But we
but honestly, at some point, I would have. You were like the good luck charm of the whole organization. I mean,
I'm surprised Steinbrenner didn't try to pick you up, man. If you done won 3 in a row.
Somebody wrote an article there on a blog or something several years after I was gone from New York, and they said the curse of Ed Hearn. Now, you heard the curse of Big Bambino, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you were their curse.
He figured it out. He figured it out that once the Mets traded me away after 4 straight wins in a row, they hadn't won a World Series since.
Well, I'm a Braves fan, so that's good. That's good. That's fine
That's
with
a
me.
good thing.
So
I hear you.
So share with us some of your Met stories that because especially then, being in the 80s and playing with some of the guys you had on that team, I'm sure you've got 1 or 2 that maybe you can air.
Maybe you can talk with on radio. This is not a podcast, so we have to keep the radio thing going.
I hear you on that, man. There was a book written by Perlman called The Bad Guys Won. And when people ask me about that book, they say, is all that stuff true? And I said, yeah, all of it's true, but it's only about 60, 70% of what really went on.
Oh, really?
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. Couldn't put everything in there.
No, they couldn't. But, it was an unbelievable year. I was 26 years old, rookie in the big leagues, first time backing up the Hall of Famer Gary Carter.
Yep.
Yes.
And in New York City, I think Frank Sinatra said it best. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere.
Absolutely.
That's for sure.
And, the Mets had building the minor league system for many years because they were always on the bottom of getting first-round picks and stuff. And so early 80s, and, that was an organization that just had talent loaded from youngsters in low-A ball all the way up in eventually to the big leagues there in the mid-80s. And I happened to come along in my rookie year, and that was when it all the cream came to the top.
Yeah. Well, and obviously you had, going from single A to the majors in what's really back then, especially a relatively short amount of time, obviously you had some really good seasons in the minor leagues for you to get pulled up. Do you think that organizations still have that kind of patience with some of their players as far as, building them up, giving them the opportunity to learn the game at that level? Or do you think it's more, just throw a lot of money and hope it works? Yeah, and rush them up.
Well, the game has certainly changed a lot, guys.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that, and I think the minor league systems have been impacted tremendously, even before they began the cutbacks that started this year. I don't think that guys were they didn't give them the opportunity to develop often, and they were bringing them up so fast that many of these guys weren't ready to be long-term big league ball players yet.
Yeah, I mean, and if you're not prepared to play the game once you're up there, it's almost like sink or swim type situation, and especially playing in a town like New York. I mean, where the media scrutiny is already at probably the highest level of any of the major league teams. Between y'all and the Yankees, so that had to be interesting.
The Yankees have always have done it with money, and they've always had talent. The Mets have had to rely on the minor league system more so. That's just the way they decide to go. And a lot of times guys were getting there here in the last 10, 15 years, maybe 20 years, and they weren't ready to play at that level. And, the Mets fans get upset because, 5 years later after they left New York, these guys became superstars, some of them.
Yeah.
And that was hard to understand for the Mets fans.
Now, growing up in Fort Pierce,
They play ball down there year round. I mean, you can play ball.
No. Not when I was a kid. I hear that all the time.
That was my question. I mean, we talk about travel ball now. Kids playing ball year round. Now, was that the same way with you down in when you were growing up?
That is a great question. I hear that all the time. Oh, you grew up in Florida. Y'all played ball all year round.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't the case. We played maybe 21 to 24 baseball high school games, and then some conference tournament, and that's it. So
really,
maybe 25 games, and then in Fort Pierce, we had American Legion ball.
Yeah,
and I played that when I was 14. And I was just that's kind of over my head a little bit, but then it turned into Big Little League, and it was not a highly competitive thing.
Okay.
But see, I played football, baseball, and basketball and golf all in high school. And when I was younger than that, I played even more sports than that. Yeah. I am not a proponent of kids playing one sport year round constantly.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree. You
got to be well rounded.
If you can play multiple sports, and it's happening. I help out with a local high school football team, Ed. And you're seeing these kids, I'm going to quit playing football, coach. I'm going to concentrate on basketball, or I'm going to concentrate on baseball. When they can easily, they're a good football player, but they think they can get a scholarship in this other sport. And you hear these other athletes tell them, I've heard, I remember before Kobe passed away, and he would tell kids, play multiple sports. You can do it.
Yes.
Why not? But kids, they want to concentrate on one sport, and I just don't get it.
I'm totally backing you up, man. I learned a lot of different skills for different sports, and I learned to play for different coaches by being involved in different sports, and all of that adds up toward you being a better all-around athlete. And I laugh at that question. When people tell me that, oh, you played ball year-round, you played 100 games a year, I'm like, no, I didn't.
No, you don't play that.
Now you can play golf down there year-round if you want. If you can stand that August heat. It's 80 degrees.
But you know what, though? That was a way, I think, probably for people to justify your talent. And you know what I mean? Like, that's the only reason, you can hit so good or feel so good is because you're doing it 12 months out of the year when, in fact, like you said, you weren't and shouldn't have been.
But before we're gonna ask you some personal questions, but before I want to ask you one more professional question. How was it getting that World Series ring, putting it on your finger? How did that feel?
Well, I got traded 5 days left in spring training the following year to the Royals. And so I was not there at Shea Stadium the next year to get my ring with the team. But when we came in the Royals to play the Yankees, one of the executives came over and presented me with the ring there at the hotel. And when he left, I left with my future wife, and we went out into the streets of New York. And, I wrote about this in my book, that it was just an amazing thing. You dream of being a big leaguer, you dream of World Series, but, man, the reality of that happening is just zero, really. And here I was, had a ring on my hand, walking out in New York City, and then I went, uh-oh. Man, I got to protect this thing. I'm in New York City.
Exactly.
You better put that thing in your pocket, man. Don't let nobody see that.
Darn straight about that, man. So
you might miss a finger.
It was a beautiful experience getting that ring. The ticker tape parade was an awesome thing. Even the ride that day before the day we went to the ticker tape parade after winning it all there against Boston, I'm a Florida boy, so New York was a totally new deal to me. It just wall-to-wall traffic, just a totally different place. But when we got on those, we had about 4 buses at Shea Stadium, and we took off toward Lower Manhattan where the parade was starting. And one of my biggest memories is every one of the roads and interstate ramps and all were all closed off. What, car on the road, and all these people outside their cars, and they're chanting, "Let's go Mets! Let's go Mets!" Workers up on 15 stories up on these big buildings, and they're all chanting and almost like the Braves chop, but let's go Mets!
That's awesome.
Let's go Mets! That town was just lit up because we hadn't won since '69. So those Mets fans were just starving. It was just a fabulous experience, and I'm just very thankful and blessed to have been a part of that.
I can relate. I can relate to that. Auburn. I'm the only Auburn football fan here. Everybody else is wearing Alabama Roll Tide stuff. See, so in 2010, I got to be the guy that says War Eagle national champs finally since 1957. So yes,
I hear you, man. Well, you guys turned out one heck of a ball player back in my day, right there in Georgia. In Herschel Walker.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love that guy. He played for my Cowboys for a while, and just what a great human being that guy is. He's just a great guy. He is what a great guy he is.
And that's one of the reasons I brought him up. I've been very impressed at watching him mature into the man he is today.
Yeah.
And the values and the character that he espouses and represents.
Yeah.
I think are just fabulous.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was a tremendous athlete, but he's an even better person, I believe.
Better human
the only
being.
other guy I compare him with, and a guy I got to play with, was Bo Jackson.
Did you get to play with Bo in Kansas City?
I did.
I will be dog. I did not put those two together. Man, I would have let off with that question if I'd have put those. We were asking the other day if you were last week if you were part of the Pine Tar Bat game.
Oh, that's right.
But
no,
that would have been
before.
I think that was a year or two before I got there.
Yeah. Well, Bo knows a thing or two about multiple sports.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, gentlemen, I've seen a lot of great athletes in my day, but I guarantee you nothing like Bo Jackson.
Yeah. Well, listen,
Bo's a good man. He's one of these Southern boys. You talking about good stories.
Oh, yeah.
I got to be pretty good friends. We go fishing together here in Kansas City, and a couple days, I remember one, he lived in a pretty wealthy area in South Kansas City, and his house cornered up into a intersection that was just four-way stop. And I go over there, me and Bo be shooting bow and arrow.
Wow,
right,
that's awesome.
Right at that intersection with just an iron gate. So you see these old wealthy people drive by. Here's this big white guy, a big black guy.
That's awesome.
Them cars be look at the two dudes.
Now, could you outshoot him, or he's pretty good with that bow?
You didn't want to beat Bo.
Oh, really?
That was one to let him win because you didn't want to get the wrath of Bo.
I was gonna say, he had that competitive nature about him a little bit.
Yeah, but you know what? I tell you, we got him one time in the clubhouse. There was a ping pong table there. And Buddy Black, the pitcher, who became manager there in big leagues here recently, and Bo could play some ping pong too, man. I mean, he beat everybody. So Buddy Black knew a guy that was a high-level amateur or professional, and he brought him in and told Bo, "Oh, hey, this newspaper reporter can beat you, man."
Oh, no.
So I was like, "Well, put your money where your mouth is."
That's great.
And so he went in there, and this guy started playing, and he goofed around with him for few points, and Bo said, "You ready?" And the guy said, "Well, I guess, man." And after about 3 or 4 points, the guy turned it on, and Bo's like, "What the hell?" He started stuttering and everything. But what the hell, y'all bring in a ringer yet?
Yeah,
that is awesome.
Let the Wookiee win.
Let the Wookiee win. Yeah, I was thinking about don't mess around with Jim when Big Jim goes down and hustles Slim.
Back with more of our Tailgate Talk conversation after this.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand. First to help with community events and fundraisers. First to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations. First to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events. And most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together. That's what we strive for.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State Hometown Team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
If your place on the water needs some attention, call BP Riverworks. Boathouses, docks, seawalls, and repairs. Call Baron Pugh at 251-200-2273 or Tracer Pugh at 256-206-7097. BP Riverworks. Licensed and insured, 251-200-2273 or 256-206-7097. We continue with our conversation on the Best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
You know, you're talking about how special Bo and Herschel were, but and you're a very special guy in your own right, man. You mentioned your book earlier, Conquering Life's Curves, and you know, if you don't mind, share with us some of your health, issues that you've experienced last, 15 plus years, and you've gone through a whole lot, man, and just from what little I read, you mean a lot to a lot of people.
And your foundation too. We've heard about your foundation too.
Man, y'all don't have enough time for this part now.
we built in a little bit of extra time.
Well, and I want to say this before you get started, just real quick, because this stuck out to me. I just want to say it. So you had a quote. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's the most important part of my life.
Yeah.
So I like talking about it. It was a tough time. It's been 30 years.
Wow.
It's just still going on. But I got traded to the Royals. I was supposed to be starting catcher. I brought here to catch that pitching staff that won the '85 World Series. A bunch of young guns like Saberhagen, Dubas up.
Oh yeah.
And I blew out my shoulder.
Yeah.
Major reconstructive surgery, and battled to come back, and it wasn't meant to be. A year and a half later, I was diagnosed with end-stage renal failure and a whole bunch of other things to just keep it short for you guys. But today I've had three kidney transplants.
Wow.
I take an IV treatment once a month, about $8,000 shot for immune system deficiency. I have central nerve sleep apnea, and I've had 45 to 50 skin cancer surgeries. And what else have I had? I just can't keep up with it. But, I went from the penthouse to the outhouse because, a year and a half after that first transplant, the immunosuppressive medications had a lot of side effects, and one of which that got me was depression and mood swings. And I went down to my basement, in the office basement, and I loaded the .357 pistol. I was ready to quit on life. But, the three things that kept me from doing that: the foundation of faith that was already laid in my life, the beautiful woman that I had met in New York, and he was my wife, and now has been with me. She's my wife and nurse of 32 years. Without her, I would not be alive today. And I also I remember hearing a speaker named Zig Ziglar.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, it came to my mind right there. He said, you can change where you're at in life by what you put into your mind. And I made a game plan that day when I put that pistol down. And 6 months later, I was asked to share my story to a local Rotary Club. That was just 6 days later. I didn't want to be in front of anybody. And the guy twisted my arm. The former Chiefs player, a friend of mine, was in charge of getting speakers for that club. And I went there reluctantly. But at the end of it, man came up to me afterwards. He said, "That was a great story, Ed. Man, for an old jock, you really speak well." And, corporations pay people like you to go out there and share that kind of inspiration, motivation, encouragement. And he said, I have a speaker here, and I would love to tell you about what I do. And I just book speakers out to organizations, and I think you'd be a great person for me to work with. And he handed me his card, and I said, "Well, thank you, sir, but the timing's not right." I didn't tell him I was in my basement 6 days earlier with a loaded 357.
Wow.
But 6 months later, I called him up. I said, "Mr. Brad, at the time you chatted with me, I certainly wasn't ready for what you had in mind, but, I'm thinking it might be a light at the end of the tunnel. There's not another train coming, and I'd like to have lunch with you." And that was 1994. And today I wrote a book back in 95 called Conquering Life's Curves, Baseball, Battles and Beyond. I've been speaking all over the country for the last 25 years. Everything from schools and churches are maybe 10 to 15% of the work I do. A large majority of it's associations and some corporate work at the local, state, national, regional. It's been incredible. And, God had a plan for my life, gentlemen. And baseball was just a small part of that journey to get me to the point where I believe he wanted me, where I could make an impact on people's lives. And it was not through my strength of being an athlete and a professional ball player, but it was through the challenges and the weakness that I endured that allowed me to touch lives. Because we all face challenges, especially today.
Yes,
COVID-19 is a perfect example. Yeah. But, I can go out there and talk about perspective and thinking outside, not a box, stupid-ass box saying. Now, think outside the self. That's the key. That's the key to life, man.
Yeah.
Thinking outside self, thinking about people around you, the people you're leading, the people you're talking to on this show. You put them first, and this show will never end.
Yeah. And that's what God intended us to do, was to be here for that very reason, to be selfless and help others, and you're obviously doing it. You had a quote that says, "Trials build character," and I've had one heck of a trial, and you certainly have, but you have...
I'd be one heck of a character.
Yeah. The character that you built, obviously, through that, but you've shared that story, I'm sure hundreds of times at this point, and there's no telling how many. And it's not just those that you're speaking in front of at the time. They go and they tell their friends and family, "Hey man, I just saw this incredible speaker." And matter of fact, I told my wife this morning, this is the truth, that I've had some health issues, and after reading your story, I told her, so I don't have anything to complain about. I mean, Ed here has gone through a whole lot more. So you inspired me just by telling what you've been through. So you touch probably a lot more people than you would ever imagine. Yeah.
Yep. Well, I appreciate that, but it's so true. About 10 years ago, I became aware of a saying by somebody, I don't know who did it, and I've looked it up because if I'm going to quote somebody in my speaking, which I don't do that much of, I'm going to let people know where that came from. I'm not a guy who's going to, say what Bo Jackson said and that's my words. But I came across this saying, and this has been my mantra for about the last 15 years that I'm speaking. And I just keep this in mind. This saying, listen to this. Anyone can count the seeds in one apple, but no one can count the apples in just one seed.
That's the truth, brother. I never thought about that.
That's great.
You never know.
That's true.
Yeah.
You never know. I got a letter from a guy the other day, and he was telling me he's written like 30 books, and he was telling me about his son, Archie. I can't tell you where he's from, but this guy's son became a preacher. And the guy told me, he said, of all my kids, that's the last one I thought would be a preacher. But this fellow went on to tell me that, he said, I promised to write a book about Archie's journey because Archie's son, he had a son that was born disabled and never could walk, but he learned to drive. He was in college, and Archie got a phone call that his son had been killed in a car accident. So this Archie, his dad, the guy who wrote me, said, I want to do a book about your life, son. And he said, listen, and it's going to be, I want you to do it in the format of what this guy Ed Hearn did. And I'm going to send you a copy of his book. And then he moved and he couldn't find my book. So he went back and bought one off the internet, and he sent me a page-and-a-half letter telling me this story, and that he's written 30 books. Now he's going to start writing it in the format that I wrote my book.
How cool.
With awesome. The inside pitch at the end of each chapter that talked about a certain fundamental characteristic or value that I wanted to talk a little bit more about, and then I go back into the story. And, that's one of those scenes that if that guy had written that letter, I wouldn't have any idea that the style of my book made it that.
Yes.
What a beautiful thing.
That is awesome.
Well, Ed, that's awesome, buddy.
Buddy, thank you so much for joining us. We'd love to stay and talk another hour, but we've run out of time, Ed.
Well, man, I think that saying worked in good being the Applebee's Tailgate show, right?
That's right. There we go. You got some stuff that we might have to use in the future, brother.
I like that apple seed. You can count the seeds in one apple, but you can't count the apples in one seed.
There you go, brother.
Well, take care of yourself.
Yes, sir.
God bless you, man, and keep up the good work. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Well, I say the same thing to you guys on the tailgate there.
We'll do it, brother.
Keep planting seeds.
We'll do it.
You guys like me, and we'll never know the difference we can make. You guys keep swinging, man.
We'll do
Thanks,
it,
brother.
Thanks, Ed. Take care, brother.
Take care, fellas.
All righty. Bye-bye. We always say we have some awesome interviews. We have some of the best
Hey,
interviews
you never
Good job, producer extraordinaire Tim Lambert.
Tim pulled another one out.
It's time to take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Home security is not what it used to be. With Secure Connect and smart home integration features, you can unlock your doors and turn off your alarm from your smart home app. No more hiding a key under a rock. Get Secure Connect and live life connected. Call Ardmore Telephone Company at 800-830-9946 to secure your home today.
When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right.
Bring a little caffeination inspiration to your next event with Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Athens. Turn up the heat in these cooler months with their signature products, including a full coffee menu, white chocolate mocha, lattes, frappes, energy drinks, lemonades, and teas. Travelin' Tom serves events of any size, concerts, neighborhood block parties, high school football games, you name it. Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Athens is sure to make any event a little sweeter. Visit Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Athens on Facebook or call them at 434-1734. Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Athens.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand. First to help with community events and fundraisers. First to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations. First to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events. And most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together. That's what we strive for.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Listen this basketball season as WKAC brings you action from the Athens High Golden Eagles. Join us for play-by-exciting play of varsity girls and boys games on our sports stream at WKAC1080.com. Tune in to WKAC and hear the replay each Saturday at noon, and then check it out on our website on demand. Athens High Golden Eagles basketball this season online at WKAC1080.com and on the air at 1080 WKAC. Welcome back to the Best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
We've got one of the most famous NFL refs in the world.
If not the most famous.
Mr. Jim Tunney on the line with us. Jim, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you. Nice to be here. How you doing? How's your weather?
Our weather is gorgeous right now. It's just like spring. You know, I'm waiting the dogwoods to be blooming right now, but we're on the other side of it.
Now, you're in California, correct?
I am. Weather's terrific here. The sun is bright and shining in my window, and I'm loving it.
It's always sunny in California.
So, listen, before we get into the football and the refereeing and all these wonderful stories, because we'll get lost in all of that, I wanted to talk to you just briefly about your other job, because for folks that don't know, back when you were calling a lot of those 31 years, if not all of them, y'all had to have side jobs. You know, the NFL didn't pay officials enough just for it to be a career, so you were in education and a principal for many years. One of my questions I wanted to ask you was, I noticed you went back like 20-something years later, 23 years, whatever it was, and got your doctorate. Now, that says a lot for anybody. What compelled you to do that after you had a master's in education, to go back and get that doctorate?
Well, thank you. I was the principal of a school called Fairfax High School in West Hollywood. It was a very academic school with a lot of doctors as teachers, and a lot of our kids going to the Ivy Leagues and the Seven Sisters, places like that. And I went from there to work for Herb Alpert at Tijuana Brass. I was the educational director of his foundation, and I thought the doctorate might help a lot in making contacts with people to see where we could be of benefit. Herb Alpert is a very generous man, and where can we make our best donations? So I went back and got the doctorate from USC that way. Spent 4 years doing it, going to school every afternoon or 2 or 3 times a week, and I really enjoyed the opportunity. It was a struggle being a principal and doing that and going back to school, but I enjoyed it.
Oh, I bet. Well, now we got the education part out of the way. Let's get into some football.
Thanks for me.
When did you? How did you get into the NFL? Because I'll share you a little bit. I was a rec league official locally here, and I was terrible. I was not good enough. So I was good enough to get fired. So no, I didn't get fired. But anyways, how did you make it? Did you start at the high school level and work your way up? How did that work out, Jim?
I grew up during the Depression, so I wouldn't have a job. So that's why I became a teacher. In order to supplement my income, I would work on the games, high school games, Friday night, Saturday afternoon. I was making $12.50 a game. Wow. And maybe worked 3 games in the weekend, $37.50 for the weekend. I thought I was finding money. I loved it. It was great. But just moved from high school to become a referee in the high school ranks, and then up to the junior college, the small college, and then to the Division I. I worked in Division I for about 4 years. I was very lucky because in 1960, after about 4 years, the NFL was adding Dallas in 1960, and in 61 Minnesota. So they needed more officials. So I never even applied. They saw me work in the college and asked me to work. So I just moved from one level to the other, just like a player does. And I was very fortunate to work in the NFL for 31 years.
Man, that is good that you just don't have to apply. You're just good enough as it go.
Yeah,
hey,
he got noticed.
They were
recruiting
calling
him.
my games.
We've got a buddy who a friend of ours that listens to the show quite frequently, Ricky Beanie Hargrove. So, and he calls college volleyball and softball. So maybe Beanie's listening, and he can take some tips from that. And just that's what you got to do, Beanie. You got to stand out and do it right.
Exceed and excel.
Yeah.
Just do the best you can and love it.
Yeah. So you are also one of the officials, or the ref, in the Ice Bowl and the Fog Bowl. Am I incorrect with that, or is that right?
No, I was in the Ice Bowl. I was a field judge.
Okay.
Actually, I was a referee, but I was in my first year moving from field judge to referee, and because I was a first-year referee, I was the alternate in the Ice Bowl. Norm Schachter was the referee on the field, but there were 8 of us, the crew, 6 on the field, and 2 alternates, and I was on the sidelines. I stood next to Coach Lombardi the whole game. Wow. He was cold, and I was cold. Every time there was a timeout, I'd go over by the heater and stand by the heater and warm up Mark Fanny.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. They said the ground was like concrete, because it had been frozen, and that was before all the technology of the heat gear, clothes, and of course the heated benches. I mean, y'all had some little heaters over there, but nothing like what they have nowadays.
Well, talking about technology, they had put heaters up underneath the turf.
Yeah,
and they didn't work, and
yeah.
I think that made things worse out there on the field.
I forgot about that.
That's what happened in Green Bay. They did have experimental heaters under the turf, and it didn't work, and that's why it was so cold. But it was the players. They played. They didn't like it, but they played the game, and they love playing it. Players like playing in any kind of helmet, but this was really cold.
Yeah. Can't imagine.
Jim, what was Tom Landry like?
Well, Tom, I got to know Tom very, very well. He started as a coach of the Cowboys the same time I started as a referee, so we kind of grew up together. So he knew me very well, and he was a very, very good gentleman, knew the rules, knew what you could do, never cheated, never was going to cheat anybody, and never, he got mad, and I don't think he ever yelled at me particularly, but he'd get mad and disgusted at his players, and that was, he's more disgusted at his players than he was at the officials. If there was a mistake on the field, he just moved on and let it go. He just played one play after the other. He was always thinking ahead, always thinking, what am I going to do for the next play?
Yeah. Well, so obviously, world famous NFL referee. How in the world did you get into world team tennis?
Well, I was living in Southern California at the time, and Billie Jean King had started the world team tennis. The guy who was in charge, the official, came to me and he said, you referee football and basketball. I would like to referee tennis. So I was playing tennis in those days, and I loved it. I said, gee, that'd be great. So he said, we need people who know about officiating and know about handling themselves on the court. And so I was involved in that for 3 years, and really enjoyable. Got to watch Rod Laver and John Newcomb and people like that who were just great players, and watch them practice before the games, hour after hour after hour practicing. And I learned a lot just watching them, but I really enjoyed the opportunity to be on the court with the great players, men and women.
That is awesome.
Tennis, you've only got the one there in the tall chair, right? You don't have.
Linesman.
Oh, you got the linesman.
Do you have? Okay, yeah. Okay. Were you the guy in the chair?
Were you the umpire or were you the linesman?
We had one guy in the chair, and then we had 4 officials on the lines. And as a linesman, when the service was made, you were on one line, and once the service was made and the play was underway, you moved to the next line. I was in the chair several times. I was in the chair with Ili Nastasi, if you remember that name.
Oh, yeah. Nastasi,
yeah. Bad boy, and he got mad one time and was making gestures and saying bad words, and I called the coach over to Dennis Ralston. I said, now, if you can't control that Romanian kid, I'm going to run him right out of the stadium. And he said, I'll take care of him. And Dennis Ralston was very good. He took care of him. But it was interesting working with his stats. He was a great tennis player, but he was a fiery guy.
Oh, speaking of fiery guys, did you ever officiate any John McEnroe?
I knew it was coming.
Matches.
That'd have been before John's time.
Yeah, probably been before John's time.
I mean, for world team.
Name, was it? McEnroe was still in grammar school when I was working.
Okay.
Now, whether it's tennis, football, other sports you officiated, how hard is it sometimes, especially at that level, because, you know, these are world premier athletes, not to get caught up in just watching the game? You know what I mean? You have to focus, obviously, on the calls you're making, but I called high school baseball right after I got out of high school. And sometimes I would just, you know, a guy would make a great play or whatever, and I'd be thinking, man, yeah, instead of making the call, you know. You know, is that something you just have to learn, or is it you know, a learned habit, or what?
It's certainly easy to do. As a referee, my job was to watch the quarterback, and I was working a game with Chicago Bears at Wembley Field, and Billy Wade was the quarterback. Gale Sayers was the halfback, and Billy Wade took and pitched it out to Gale Sayers. He started around right in and saw an opening between the tackle and the end, planted his right foot, and at 90 degrees shot between the tackle and the end, and the linebacker closed and reached out to grab him, and Sayers hurdled the linebacker like Carl Lewis would hurdle. Boy, that's a great move. Oh, my God. I'm supposed to be watching the quarterback.
Well, at least the quarterback wasn't laying over there with his helmet pointing out the wrong way, right?
It's easy to do because these are some great players that make some great moves.
Oh, I can't even imagine. Now, out there on the field, did you ever, over the years, take any big hits yourself, get caught up in the melee?
Ooh, I seen two in a high school game just last couple of weeks ago.
Oh, you got to step in between these guys. They're 6'8" and 300 pounds, and you got to step in there and break them up because they're just like little kids in school. You know, as a school teacher, you said, and so kids that get fired on the playground. Well, these guys get excited on the football field. You got to break them up. It's a very emotional game, so you got to understand that if they're going to do things and say things that they don't really mean to do in character, and you got to step in between them, and I did.
Jim, what was your first Super Bowl?
Super Bowl VI was the Dallas Cowboys and the Miami Dolphins in Tulane Stadium before the Superdome was built. So we played it at the University of Tulane in their stadium. It's the same stadium I was a few years earlier. I was there when Tom Dempsey kicked his 63-yard field goal.
No way!
I was refereeing at that game. But the Miami Dolphins lost to the Dallas Cowboys in that first Super Bowl. The first Super Bowl that the Cowboys and the Dolphins were in, and Coach Shula, who became a good friend of mine over the years, Coach Shula went into the locker room after the game and said, "Gentlemen, you see how this feels? We're not going to feel like this anymore." And the next year he won 17 straight.
Wow.
So I take credit for inspiring
There you go.
Well, I read that story where Art McNally called you a couple weeks prior to the Super Bowl and had, you know, told you that you had the game, and obviously you were, you know, blown away in shock. How does that feel? I mean, that's kind of like, you know, draft night, and you're being drafted number 1 overall. I mean, really, and you know, I mean, did you have any inclination that you might even possibly get to be involved in the game?
Had no idea that I would be selected for the game.
Wow.
But it does bring tears to your eyes. There's no question about it. It's a very emotional time to be able to be selected for the Super Bowl, and I was fortunate to work in 4 of them. So it's a very emotional time. But I really loved it. Art McNally was a great supervisor. He was so honest and so fair to the officials. In fact, I said one time, I would play poker over the phone with Art McNally.
That's honesty right there.
That's honesty. Well, I'm sorry, go ahead, Jay.
Some of my other 2 favorite officials was Red Cashin and Ben Dry. They had their unique style of you know, doing the first down calls and all that.
Yes, they did. Red is gone now, but Red was a very good official and started out as a rookie. I worked with him. He was in our crew as a rookie for a couple of games. Not for a season, but for a couple of games. But I always enjoyed Red. I remember when he came up with that expression, first down. He said to me, he said, do you think it's okay? I said, you like to do it? Yes, do it. Don't worry about whether it's okay or not. That's the way you talk. Just go ahead. You know?
Well, I don't remember what number Super Bowl it was, but the Dallas Denver game. Just full disclosure, I never could stand Dallas. I don't know why, but could not stand them. And I'd forgotten all about this call, but where Roger Staubach stepped out of bounds.
I worked that game.
Yeah,
you worked it. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You worked the game. You made that call, and you made the correct call, and caught a lot of grief over it. But man, I wish you'd have been wrong, because.
I did catch a lot of grief over it. In fact, Roger stepped out of bounds just barely, and it's like being barely pregnant. If you're out of bounds, you're out of bounds.
That's true.
He was it was intercepted by Denver in the end zone.
Yep.
So I say Roger having an interception, but nobody believed it till Art McCallie phoned me on Thursday, 4 days later, and said we have a photograph of his foot on the line. So you made the right call, but there was no replay in those days.
Right.
Yeah.
So that you had to go with what the officials do. Well, I like the replay. I think the replay is a good thing to get the play right, but just not use it too much.
Yes.
Keep the game where the officials on the field.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That was going to be a question I'm sure one of us was going to ask, because, yeah, they'll sit there and delay a game. You know, us at home are seeing the replay, and the first replay you see is obvious, right? Either it's a catch, not a catch, whatever the call may be, and then they're taking 5 minutes, 14 different views, and you're like, oh, my goodness, what's taking so long, you know?
Yeah, sometimes it just does take too long, but the replay official in the booth wants to get the play right, so it sometimes takes longer than we want it to be.
Well, you said you became really good friends with Coach Shula, and you would post about having lunch with him every Friday and all. Were there any coaches that you just would rather take a shot to the
not
head
have lunch with
than call their games?
I figured out one time that I worked for over 300 NFL head coaches, and there was never one of them that was that bad. Yes, they got mad at you. Yes, they called you different names and talked about your ancestry and the fact your mother and father were never married and all that. But they're really good people, and these are excited about things. They want to win. The pressure's on them, so they want to win. So that's the way it is. I liked them all. I enjoyed it.
Jim,
these are tough ones.
This has been an awesome conversation. We're so thankful that you took time to join us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't be a stranger. We'd love to talk to you again one day.
We'd love to do it. I appreciate the opportunity and love to talk to you guys. Thanks for the call.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Buddy. Jim Tunney, ladies and gentlemen, former NFL ref, one of the great two. And it's time to take a quick break. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon. P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State Hometown Team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
Now that you've got that new place on the water, BP Riverworks can finish the picture with a boathouse, dock, or seawall. Call Barron Pugh at 251-200-2273 or Tracer Pugh at 256-206-7097. BP Riverworks, licensed and insured, 251-200-2273 or 256-206-7097. Want to howl with the Havoc this season? Now's your chance from Tailgate Talk and the Huntsville Havoc. Just go to tailgatetalk.net and register your name. Then listen to Tailgate Talk Saturday mornings at 10 as we announce the weekly winners of Huntsville Havoc tickets. Howl with the Havoc this season from the Huntsville Havoc, Tailgate Talk, and 1080 WKAC. You're listening to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
We're joined by former University of Alabama forward center, straight out of R.C. Hatch High School, Erwin Dudley. Erwin, sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you guys for having me. How y'all doing today?
Man, we're doing great. We was looking through your bio there, and it looks like, man, you've played a lot overseas in the Middle East, I believe. Yes.
Yes, sir. I did. That's one of my favorite places. I call it my second home. I played there. Turkey mainly for 12, 13 years, and so I consider that my second home. I enjoyed every minute of it too.
Well, before we get we got our guy Jay Vassar here. He's a big Alabama fan. I'm the only Auburn fan on the place here. But man, let's talk about Turkey. The Middle East. All we hear is news, and news is not always favorable when it comes to stuff like that. But I know it's different when you're on the ground living there, eating the food. Talk a little bit about the being overseas in that area in Middle East.
I mean, being over there, I enjoyed it. I mean, it's just like any other place you get. I mean, you have things that go on just like over there, just like you have here for the most part. But they still have a way of life. They have some really good food. I mean, when I first got over there, I didn't think I would eat lamb, but man, lamb is some good meat. Let me tell you.
Really?
They have. Oh yeah, they have a million different ways they prepare it, and man, I'm telling you, it is really, really good. I mean, it's something that, like I said, you have to go there to experience well to understand, to get an understanding of what I'm talking about. But it has really good food. I mean, the culture is definitely different than we have here. A lot of the people, I mean, you get a lot of staring. Well, I guess they stare at me because I'm tall, but you get a lot of people that stare at you. You get a lot of people that they stare at you and things of that nature. But for the most part, the culture, I enjoyed it. It took me some time to get used to it, but for the most part, like I said, I consider that my second home, and I had teammates over there that I still keep in contact with to this day, and I just enjoyed the whole experience. But I recommend anybody, if you have the opportunity to go over there and play overseas, maybe go over to visit overseas, especially Turkey. Istanbul in particular. They have some other great cities there as well, but I lived in Istanbul for like 6 years. Istanbul is one of the places where you can find pretty much anything you want. I mean, there's always something there to do. I mean, they always have different things going on, so it's a wonderful place to visit.
That's great. Jay, you got some basketball questions, man?
First of all, I got one a bobblehead that they give away of Erwin and Coleman years ago. I still got it in my room.
Still got it.
But Erwin, what about this run that the Tide had this year?
Man, that run was. I tell people, it was a long time coming. I mean, we've been looking for something like that, from the program. We've had numerous coaches come through there, and I thought Coach Grant would have got it done. Then I thought Coach Avery would have got it done. We brought in players just to get over the hump, but this year right here, we actually got over the hump. I think we had a we had a great mixture of upperclassmen and then, with some underclassmen. And they played and they gelled really well. They shot the ball well. And then most important thing that they did, they played defense. And that, I guess that defense wins championship. And we played a really, really good defense. We relied on our defense a lot this year. When we couldn't score, we relied on our defense to get us out of get us out of jams, and we did a good job of it. For us to come in and they didn't even have us nowhere on the map. I think they had Florida to win. Tennessee to win the SEC, and for us to come in and win the SEC this year. I think that is huge. So. And then not only the regular season, but they go in and win the tournament. They win the tournament also, and then they made the run in the NCAA. Nobody expected that, and so it was just unbelievable for us to be able to come out and especially in Coach Oates, it's on his second year. For him to come in and the guys that buy into his system, and for us to be able to come out and do what we did, it was phenomenal.
I know it was exciting for Petway because this team reminded me a lot of that 02 team, and I know he was excited.
Oh yeah, he really was. I talked to him, man. He a lot of those guys. He's been there. He helped recruit and brought them in, and for them to come in and from them. For them being Alabama guys as well, I think that was something else for them to come in and something for them to put their print on the program. I think it was special. And like I said, he enjoyed it.
Well, tell us about your recruiting. How did that go with you?
Man, recruiting was it was fun. It's totally different now, but because they got a million different ways they can contact you and they can see you. But for me, it was totally different. Me coming from a small town, Uniontown, and AAU existed, but we really didn't know anything about it. And then I ended up going to Alabama to that basketball camp, and I saw one of the coaches saw me up there playing. And he asked me to come and join the AAU team, whatever. And the Huntsville was Alabama Lasers, so it was the Lasers, and it was out of Huntsville, Alabama Lasers, and so that's why I played with Marvin Stone. He was one of them, Bizarre and Terrence Mead. All of us, we all played on the same team. But for me, like you see, it's a 3.5 hour drive from Uniontown, and to get from there to get to Uniontown to Huntsville. So I would have weekends up there, and to be around some of the top guys, in the state and in the country. And I really got seen that way, just doing that, and then just going to basketball camp. And then I got notoriety, whatever. And then my sister, I had an older sister that graduated from Alabama right before I got ready before I made my decision. And I kind of knew I was going to Alabama anyway, but Coach Godfrey, they recruited me, and I kind of wanted to make them sweat a little bit or whatever, because I think Rod and Chance had already signed with him. And I enjoyed the experience. I didn't do all the different visits, and like some guys do. They go to the different cities, they go to different schools and do all that. I didn't do all that. I kind of kept it. I kept it local. I knew I wanted to go to Alabama. I did go visit Auburn because I visited them. I had an uncle that lived in Auburn as well at the time. So I had ties down there. So they recruited me really hard, but ultimately I chose Alabama. I just felt more comfortable there. My family did, and it was only like an hour away from Tuscaloosa, so it just really fit me well.
Erwin, man, for people that don't know about Uniontown and R.C. Hatch, I compare it to the Southern Alabama Tanner.
Yes.
Because we would always, I coached football at Tanner, our basketball would always come there, and we soon realized how good. And, man, you guys, there's still R.C. Hatch girls basketball, boys basketball is always a perennial powerhouse there. And then I got to go work at a high school where our ag teacher, his name's Howard Anderson. He was from R.C. Hatch. He went to A&M and got his degree. And I mean, that was even worse working with him because all he talked about was how my Tanner guys are always losing to RC Hatch and this and that. But, man, what a great athletic little town. I mean, not Union Town is, man.
I tell you, we basketball was a thing that that everybody did. I mean, from back in the 80s and 70s, 80s, and the teams that came through. I know when I was growing up, we would have some of those guys. They would come home, and and some of them were still around because they worked in in other areas. But they'd be around, and we played against them in the gym. So I got a chance to play against a lot of those guys, and so I think that they kind of helped me and helped other players too. Help us to develop. And they like I said, they were the ones that kind of started it, and then we had our coach, rest in peace to our coach Eugene Mason. He was the one that kind of got us had the. He was a general. He led us, and we played a type of basketball where it was really free. You play defense. It's kind of like almost like the system that we have at Alabama. It's a free system, but you got to play defense or whatever. And that was one of the things that we did. And the gym stayed open all year round. I mean, through summer. I mean, it didn't matter. The gym stayed open because basketball was it's everything to our community, and whatever. And like when we play whatever, like you said, like how they say Alabama football, they expect to win championship. That's how our basketball team is. Like we expect, like when we go to Birmingham, we expect to win, and so that's just how this is how our community support us, and that's how we look at our basketball down there. Football is something totally different, but our football, we've gotten over the hump. So we've actually started to win a few games, and we've made it to the playoffs. Made it to the playoffs in a few years. So we got that monkey off our back because I think we had went at one point. I think we had set the country record for like 81 straight losses or something like that.
Wow.
So
they're all getting ready for basketball, man. That's, they're all getting ready to beat the crap out of everybody in basketball. That's why,
Yeah. But then too though, what we have now is we do have a youth program. When I was coming along, we didn't have a youth program. So now that we do have a youth program, you kind of see the difference in the guys now versus when I was in high school. Guys were you started playing football in the 9th grade. I mean
yeah.
And, so yeah, big difference.
While others have come and gone, the Lions Den Gym has been roaring as a workout and exercise fixture in Athens, growing from its humble basement beginnings in 1981 to their current 10,000 square foot location at 212 Commercial Drive in Athens. The Lions Den offers 24/7 access to their ever-expanding equipment collection that includes treadmills and climbers, elliptical trainers, stationary bikes, loose weights and dumbbells, and over 45 different weight machines. Contact the Lions Den Gym about a membership today at 256-652-2627. Visit them online at lionsdengym.com or on Facebook, The Lions Den Gym, 256-652-2627.
For screen printing, sign printing, banners, logo design, and more, look no further than That Shirt Printing Place. Located at 709 North Jefferson Street in Athens. Call 256-444-1827. That Shirt Printing Place. Visit them online at thatshirtprintingplacellc.com. Look for them on Facebook too. That Shirt Printing Place. 256-444-1927. That Shirt Printing Place.
The Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship has been set up to honor the legacy of Bama Zach Green, a huge fan of the Crimson Tide, along with Limestone County sports. The scholarship will go each year to a male and female athlete from Limestone County. Checks should be made out to Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship and can be sent in care of Garth Garris, 13833 Pinnacle Drive, Athens, Alabama, 35613. Donations can also be made in person at First State Bank of the South at 1319 Highway 72 East in Athens. Thank you for showing your support for local athletes by giving to the Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. Call 233-4430 or order online at Applebee's.com and pick your meal up with Carside to go. Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 in Athens, just off I-65. Eating good in the neighborhood. Keep up with local school, travel, youth, and amateur sports throughout the week with a Play Action Sports Update. Listen weekday mornings at 7:30 and weekday afternoons at 1:30 and 3:30 as we bring you the latest scores, news, and announcements from Limestone County and surrounding communities. That's the Play Action Sports Update 3 times a day, Monday through Friday on 1080 WKAC. We continue with our conversation on the Best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
I don't know if maybe you've already been asked, but talk about what's your biggest highlight playing? Of course, you made the Sweet 16 with Coach Godfrey, but what's your biggest highlight? Sorry,
Elite Eight.
Elite Eight. My apologies.
With Jay.
No. I went on that Elite 18. They did that after I graduated. They didn't want me to be on.
I thought you was on that team. My bad.
That was Petway and Chuck Davis. Evan Brock was there. Those guys. I wasn't part. That was the year after I graduated. But I was still around because I was I was still around because I was hurt. Oh yeah, I was hurt during that time as well. So I was still around though. But I think one of my fondest memories though, I could say that I think one of them is, when we won, in the SEC, we beat Florida at home.
Yeah.
I think that's probably one of the best memories and that I have, being at Alabama. And also just my teammates, we came in and, all of us, we signed all these freshmen, and we had a goal that we wanted to accomplish. And I think when we graduated, we turned the program over. We had a few more good seasons after that, and we turned over to some guys that we thought that could come and carry the load well like that. And Richard and them, they came in and Chuck, and they did well for the program. I think that's my fondest memory. One of my fondest memories.
How often you get to talk to the guys, Erwin?
Well, this year, Trevor Rutherford and Levi Randolph, Coach Oates' first year, and we got a chance. We spoke to him, whatever. We spoke to him for a little while about some of the things that kind of expect, once while you're at Alabama, and then also when you leave Alabama, and we got a chance to talk to him. But I hadn't this year. I wasn't around the program as much this year because of the COVID protocols and all that stuff, and I didn't want to risk that or risk them or anything like that. So I stayed away and kept my distance, and I just watched from afar.
What about his style of play? You like that?
Oh yeah, I mean it's definitely a style of play where you definitely have to be conditioned for it, because it's like I say, it's run and gun, it's up and down, it's a fast-paced style, and so it's a style that a lot of teams are not used to, and then I think a few NBA teams are doing it. They're going out, with kind of like with the five out on the perimeter. A lot of teams are getting away from the traditional postman, which I don't like because I'm one of the traditional postmen.
You want a traditional postman?
Yeah. So I don't like that, but I think that's where a lot of the game is going. But I don't think that the traditional postman will go extinct or whatever. I don't think, because I know you still have a lot of coaches that still believe in that philosophy and still buy to that philosophy. Yeah. And I wholeheartedly believe in that philosophy as well. Like I said, you win. I think you can win games with both of them. Like I have no doubt that you can't do it.
Most of your postmen right now, and I look at players like Timmy on Gonzaga. And Auburn even has a player called J.T. Thor. And they can play the bottom, but yet they're able to shoot the three outside. And it's kind of a hybrid postman, a kid that can play with his back to the goal and then, get out in space. And if they leave him open, knock down the three.
Oh yeah, I mean, that Gonzaga team they really do have a special roster. I mean, they have 5 guys that can really play. And, I think that they probably will win the title, but I think they will. But I got my. If I had to bet, I think I'll bet a little money on Houston. I really like Houston for some reason. I like the way they play. I like what Kevin Sampson has done down there. They really play well. They play well together. So if I had to bet or anything, I think I would put my money on Houston or whatever. Cause I just like the way they play. They play hard, they rebound, and they gritty.
Phi Slamma Jamma guy.
Now you're showing your age, Coach.
Yeah. Clyde Drexler.
Clyde the Clyde.
Now, you know, I know coming up you had dreams like, you know, a lot of kids do about playing in the NBA. Mm-hmm. They think that's the be-all and end-all of things, and, you know, that didn't quite work out for you. What do you tell kids? You know, you did go to Turkey and play over there. What do you tell kids to kind of maybe get them ready for maybe that dream not working out for them too?
I mean, this is my thing. You know, like I said, I was blessed and fortunate to be able to play overseas for so long, and you know, it was a great opportunity for me. You know, I tell kids, I wouldn't tell them not to dream and not want to make the NBA, because, you know, right. That's the ultimate goal. You know, especially with you being here, being here in America, that's one of the ultimate goals. You know, me being overseas, I've kind of, you know, I've learned that a lot of the foreign players, they don't really look at the NBA the same way that we look at the NBA, because they feel like the NBA is just only run and gun and shoot, and, you know, and they don't play no defense, and they don't do this and they don't do that. So you have a lot of those guys that they could care less about the NBA. Some of them, some of them you like, okay, you know, they like the NBA. I mean, they like the NBA, but other guys they don't. And I tell kids, just make sure you dream well. Like, it's nothing wrong with you dreaming and want to be in the NBA, whatever. But if you want to be in the NBA, then you definitely have to put the work in. And if you put the work in, and you put the right work in and do what you're supposed to do, then you'll leave yourself an opportunity or a chance to be able to play in the NBA. And if not, then they have other avenues that you can play. Like they have the G League where they allow players to come in, and, you know, you getting really good money. Then, like I said, overseas is always an option. You playing overseas is, like I said, I enjoyed it, and, you know, it's an experience that I never forget. I was able to become a Turkish citizen. I mean, I can speak the language some, so excellent. I mean, my family got a chance to come over and visit and just see another part of the world. Cause, you know, I don't think my family would have came over. I don't think they would have came over, you know, any other time if it wasn't for me. And so for them to come over and experience that, and being able to, see Turkey and see what it is, and because you have a lot of people say, this going on, that going on. Nah, it's people have a normal. They do have a normal life. They have stuff that goes on just like they have stuff that goes on here in the United States. Yeah. But at the same time, they have the good and the bad, like always, like everything else.
Yeah, Erwin, we got to go, but one last question: what is your favorite lamb dish that you eat in Turkey?
Man, let me tell you, it's so bad for you, but I tell you, it's pita bread, and then they have sliced lamb. They put the sliced lamb on top. They put they call it sour cream, but they call it yogurt, and then they have some tomato sauce on it, and they pour butter all over it. And I see the dish, but I cannot call the name. But you talking about an unbelievable dish? Oh, it's really good.
That so sounds
good.
Great.
That right there. They're right there, and another one called a doner kebab. It's a kebab or whatever. It's minced meat. It's minced lamb meat, but it's really good as well.
That's great. Erwin, thank you so much, man.
Thanks, we appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
All
I
right.
appreciate you guys for having me.
Thank you, sir.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Roll Tide.
You too.
Roll Tide.
Ladies and gentlemen, Erwin Dudley, former University of Alabama basketball player, currently used to play in Turkey as well. It's time to take a quick break. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC, the Big 1080.
Are you getting the propane service you deserve? At Ferguson LP Gas in Ardmore, you always get the most value for your dollar, professional gas personnel who make safety a high priority, and you can always get in touch with them any day of the year at any time. They accept Visa and MasterCard too. So if you're not happy with your present propane supplier, join the many who have made the switch. Give Ferguson LP Gas in Ardmore a call at 256-423-3320. While others have come and gone, the Lions Den Gym has been roaring as a workout and exercise fixture in Athens, growing from its humble basement beginnings in 1981 to their current 10,000 square foot location at 212 Commercial Drive in Athens. The Lions Den offers 24/7 access to their ever-expanding equipment collection that includes treadmills and climbers, elliptical trainers, stationary bikes, loose weights and dumbbells, and over 45 different weight machines. Contact the Lions Den Gym about a membership today at 256-652-2627. Visit them online at lionsdengym.com or on Facebook. The Lions Den Gym, 256-652-2627. If your place on the water needs some attention, call BP Riverworks. Boathouses, docks, seawalls, and repairs. Call Baron Pugh at 251-200-2273 or Tracer Pugh at 256-206-7097. BP Riverworks. Licensed and insured, 251-200-2273 or 256-206-7097.
Home security is not what it used to be. With Secure Connect and smart home integration features, you can unlock your doors and turn off your alarm from your smart home app. No more hiding a key under a rock. Get Secure Connect and live life connected. Call Ardmore Telephone Company at 800-830-9946 to secure your home today.
Now on a platform near you, the only year-round weekly podcast covering the Huntsville Havoc, the Wreakin' Havoc Podcast. News, interviews, and more. Dropping every Thursday, we'll just reek of the Huntsville Havoc. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and listen, follow, and subscribe on your favorite platform via the PAS Plus app and online at wreakinhavoc.com.
He's got a push. Back up three. And he got it! Three-pointer at the buzzer to win it! Unbelievable!
Join Play Action Sports for another season of Calhoun basketball. You can hear live action from men's and women's teams streamed on the PAS Plus app on your Alexa device by saying Open PAS Plus or online at pasplus.net. Check out the online archives on the website or on your favorite podcast platform too. And listen for select games on Sundays at noon on WKAC Radio. Calhoun basketball from PAS Plus.
You've been listening to the best of Tailgate Talk. You can hear the archive of this and other shows online at tailgatetalk.net. Join us next Saturday at 10 a.m. Applebee's Tailgate Talk is a production of Play Action Sports on 1080 WKAC.